There is a land hidden between Rome and Tuscany where everything is very reasonably priced, but history, tradition, people, really people, are fantastic.
Via, pronti. E questo è un inno al vino.
You can easily buy for what you can get, maybe a garage in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, a little piece of paradise with fireplace and with a garden. A lovely place where you grow older or you send your friends and family. Please check us out. It has been a long month. I had to do all the Tuscia and Fiore appointment all over the area called Tuscia, and I'm a little bit tired. Let me ask for help to my friend Roy. Roy, good evening. How are you?
I'm pretty good. A little cold, but I'm good.
So the first stop for Tuscia and Fiore was in Villa San Giovanni in Tuscia, your town. How was it?
It's the 5th year, and each year it gets better. And this year it was just great, and a lot of people. I don't know. We probably had over the 3 days like 10,000 people here.
Oh yeah, definitely, and everybody was pleased.
Yeah, it was just great. So it's hard to believe that every year it gets better, but it does, and that the whole village is into it. So everybody participates, and it's great.
So, Roy, tonight we have a special night because you and I are veteran by now, but tonight we are going to present a real estate opportunity in Viterbo, the capital of Tuscia, and we have a special guest, the mayor of Viterbo. The mayor couldn't be with us. She's traveling, but I posed to her some questions and she gave me the answer. So the first question was, Signora Sindaca, thank you for your precious time. You grew up in Viterbo, but visited many cities in Europe and around the world. Why do you think an American should live or move to Viterbo? And here is the mayor answer.
Hi, Giulio and everyone. Thank you once again for the opportunity to speak about Viterbo and reasons why an American should buy a new house in Viterbo and make Viterbo his or her home, new home. There's actually plenty of reasons why. First of all, because you are in the heart of a beautiful medieval town. Just a few steps from Rome, around 1 hour 20, 1 hour and a half. Depending on where you buy a house. It can be in the beautiful countryside, or it can be in the heart of the medieval town. But still, it's a great place to stay. Another reason is the quality of life. Is basically a slow life. It's not an expensive town. Actually, quite cheap compared to, of course, to the capital city of Rome. There are a lot of itineraries where you can walk, where you can ride a bike, or going around in the countryside, and there are the thermal springs. Thermal water is very famous. Also, they have been mentioned by Dante in the Divine Comedy. The Bullicame is mentioned in the Dante Divine Comedy, and the properties of our waters, of our thermal springs, are very good for breathing. And they have a lot of properties to enhance the personal well-being and health. Moreover, it's a town that is very active and has a very active cultural life. So both in the winter and in the summertime, there are a lot of events, cultural events, festivals, a good theater, a very good theater season. So that's it. I could say a lot of things, but I think these, in terms of bullet points, in let's say why to choose living in Viterbo, in a nutshell, that's enough.
Okay, so Roy, what do you think? Do you agree with the mayor?
Of course, Viterbo is great. You know, it's whenever I have visitors here, we always go to Viterbo, and the thing I'm most impressed with, of course, is that the city, the old city, is completely surrounded by a wall. One of the few cities in Europe that has a wall completely around it. So that's the old part of the city, which is quite beautiful. And but Viterbo is quite large, relatively speaking. It has about 70,000 people. So there's the old side of the city. There's new stuff. There's you know anything you need, you can get in Viterbo. So
I actually agree. I showed you the picture when you mentioned of the walls. Look how fantastic they are,
you
right?
know, it's really great. It's just fantastic.
Okay, so let's go on with the mayor. I asked her a second question. Would you recommend an apartment in the historical center, maybe 800 years old, or a villa in the countryside with olive tree and a vineyard? Which one would be your choice? A villa in the countryside or a old piece of an apartment?
If I didn't have a dog and two cats, and yeah, I would live in the historical center. But we need a yard. We'd like to garden. So probably if I lived in Viterbo, it would be outside the old center. But if I was an American, coming over here just to find a place to stay for a few weeks a year,
For sure.
definitely in the center. And there's a lot to do in the center. I mean, the best shopping area in Viterbo is in the old part of the city, and many great restaurants and bars, and so plenty to do.
Let's hear what the mayor says. This is about where to live.
Without any doubt, I would definitely say the city center, both in the heart of the medieval town, in the San Pellegrino district, or any other part of the city center. But I also live in the city center, so I might be not really objective about this. Still, the countryside is beautiful. There are plenty of villas with pools or big gardens, and it depends on each one needs and expectations. Of course, a home is something that is very, very personal. But if I had to vote, I would definitely say city center.
I actually agree with the mayor 100%. I do have a little place in the city center. I love to step outside my building and to be in the middle of everything. People say hi, people wanting to have coffee with me. It's just fantastic. So far, so oh, by the way, we actually have a comment from one of the accessories, like a politician in the city. What more could you want from a city, and especially from a mayor? In fact, Roy, are you a little bit impressed with the mayor control over the English language?
Yeah, yeah. Not a lot of Italians speak English. One of the things that most people don't know, but she speaks pretty good. I'd give her like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Very good. Very good. And by the way, the other politician that spoke, my friend Giancarlo Martinengo, is a retired general from the army. Now he's a politician. He has been all over the world, so his English is perfect. Okay, I ask another question to the Syndaga. Are there American and European people living in the city? What's your impression? Are there European or American people living in Viterbo?
I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I'm sure there are. It's a very vibrant, city, and out of 70,000 people, probably 1,000 or so are other Europeans or Americans.
Let's hear the Sindaco answer.
Plenty of. There is also an American school, an important American school, always in the heart of the city center. Actually, there is an increasing number of European and US citizens they decide to live in Viterbo. We are very proud of that because we really struggle for an international, for becoming more and more international town. We promote our town all around the world, so not just for mainly touristic reasons, so just a visit 1 week or 5 days, but also as a residential place where you can plan your life. So yes, and most of them stay in the city center when we speak about Viterbo, but also in other places in the countryside, also talking in terms of Tuscia, so as land, as territory as a whole. So again, we it's never enough for us. So there are some, but we would like to have more.
So another question for you, Roy. In the village where you're staying, your nephew is the mayor. He's like 30 some years old. The mayor of Viterbo is 30 some years old. Very young politician. This must feel good. What do you think?
Well, since Fabio has been the mayor for the last 7 years, the village has completely changed. So I think the youth has a lot to do with it. It makes things more vibrant and interesting, and he's interesting. You know, Fabio is not really a politician. He's the mayor, but he's not really a politician. And I was hoping he might go on and become part of the parliament, but he doesn't have any interest in that. He just he's the mayor because the people in the village love him, and he cares about the village. So politics here is quite different. I was involved in politics in America for a long time, intimately, and politicians here are, at least at this level, are quite different.
Quite kind of straightforward people, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question I posed to the mayor was a little bit like funny in the sense I asked her, can we tell the people that pass through Viterbo, of course, foreigner, to stop by and visit you? And she answered in this way. Let's see what she said. I think it's funny.
Can wait. Well, sure they can. I can wait welcoming them all. I'm 99% of my time there, so just pop in and I will be glad to welcome you in Viterbo.
So there is a city center, of course, that I love, the mayor loves, and in the city center there is a major square, and in the major square there is the comune, that is the government building, and she's mostly there. She said 99%. So she said, yes, I will be happy. In fact, I believe that. She will be super happy to chit chat with people, show them around a little bit. The building is actually a museum, kind of. So by all means, if any American is interested in passing through Viterbo, visiting with the mayor, and or having any question about Viterbo, the mayor is willing. Now, let's get down to some business. Roy, say you are an American and you want to go buy a little piece of real estate in Viterbo. What question do you have?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of real estate available in Viterbo because it's so large. So whatever you're looking for, you can find. If you want a big home in the country for a couple €100,000, you can find that. If you want,
Roy, let's do this in question and answer, because I spoke with a bunch of real estate people today, so I'm kind of prepared. So ask me question and I will have the answer.
I'm sorry, did you ask me a question?
Yes. So you ask me question about the real estate in Viterbo and I will have the answer, because I spoke with a bunch of real estate people today.
Well, like in the old part of the town, how much can you buy, say, a 1-bedroom apartment for?
So 1-bedroom apartments are very rare in Viterbo. Usually they are bigger apartment, 2 or 3 bedroom, even though not many bathroom. typically, if you have to work on the property, a 1,000 square feet can cost as little as 60,000 euro. So let's fix 1,000 square feet. It is big enough, and 60,000 euro. If it is recently remodeled, super nice, it can cost as much as 150,000 euro.
Yeah.
In the center, right? This in the center, in the historical center.
It's still a fantastic deal.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All
When
the
I
real,
say
all the real estate here is a fantastic deal.
I say nicely remodeled, I still mean with the very old rocks and the wood ceiling and all that. Sometimes even frescoes on the walls. Very, very nice. I think it's certainly possible to make a good deal in America, in Viterbo for an America, in the historical center. Any other question?
One thing that you can when you're renovating a place, you can get some tremendous deals. There's companies here which do a fantastic job. So, for instance, in 2016, I went back to America to make some money so I could fix our house up. So, and our kitchen was a disaster. So we built a brand new kitchen, brand new, custom made, refrigerator, stove, oven, everything. It cost 3,200 euros. 3,200 euros, and it's fantastic. I'm not now. Is it the highest quality? No, but it's fantastic. 3,200 euros, plus some money for electrical wiring and getting the gas installed, but 3,200 euros for a beautiful kitchen. In America had been at least $20,000.
Well, this price is definitely typical of a small countryside village like yours. In Viterbo, is a little bit more expensive and a little bit trickier to get things done. But the prices are not comparable to.
I'm talking about Mondo Convenienza, whatever that company is. Whether you install it in Viterbo or install it in my house in the village, it's the same price.
Yeah, you're right. The Mondo Convenienza, as the name says, convenient, very convenient, right?
Well, very good quality and very low price, and they did a great job. I was really impressed by it. So anyway,
I'm sorry. This time we disagree. In the sense, I much rather go for a custom-made kitchen from
that's different.
Yes, that's different. That's different. Okay, so outside the wall, so outside this beauty that is surrounding Viterbo, the prices are not that different. For a newer apartment, so definitely within this or last century, again, for 1,000 square feet, if a little bit of a fixer-up could be as little as 670,000. But if you go for a bigger and no, let's say even 1,000 square feet, but a much more modern apartment. And when I say modern, I mean with everything technology can offer nowadays, it can cost more. It can cost in the neighborhood of 200,000, but really is a place where you rarely use the heater or the air conditioning because they are done in a specific technological way. Now, one thing I can tell you, if somebody is looking for a strong, outrageous deal, there are still possibilities, meaning a huge 3-4 story building, villa in the countryside, sometimes even with some frescoes or some seal from a noble family. Those are not that expensive. The prices of those goes down in the sense we're talking about a 10,000 square feet place, but it can be not what you expect. Something like that could easily go for a couple of million. That's not the case. Below 1 million, you can still buy a building, a palace that was owned by some kind of noble, rich queen or whatever in Italy, which is very cool.
Yeah, and we've talked about this many times, but the real estate here compared to America is unbelievably reasonable. And so if you get a place out in the country here, you can have a nice swimming pool. Swimming pools are kind of expensive. You can still have a swimming pool if you want. So, which is what if I lived out in the countryside here, I would have a swimming pool, no question about it.
So I want to give out my telephone number. The reason is I am not into real estate business, but I have at least 5 friends that do this for living. So it's easy, super easy for me to show around this, to pass the information to other people. I really think it is a deal. Now, Roy, let me ask you, I think I asked you this before, but do you feel comfortable as far as the healthcare, as far as the services in the area? Do you think it's easy for you to access to whatever you need?
It's very easy. And one thing I was going to mention about Viterbo is the largest hospital in the area is in Viterbo. And I've been there several times. And the healthcare here is fantastic. But other things in Viterbo, there are large stores like Best Buy, Uni Euro. There are a large number of restaurants. One of the favorite places we go to is a all-you-could-eat Japanese place called Umo Sushi. And it's fantastic. It's like 28 euros all you can eat, and it's very high quality. I've had a lot of high quality sushi in my life, and this is way up there. So whatever you're looking for in the big city, you can find here in Viterbo. So there's nothing that if we want to do it, we can do it. There's the spas, which you showed a picture of the thermal spas, which are free. So there you go. There's a couple that they charge, but it's very low prices. But most of them are free, and they're great. They're just fantastic. It's natural spring water. So.
Okay, we have a fun comment. The comment is from Fabiana Forieri. It says, "We have a castle for sale in our province. Stunning panorama, only 1.15 million euro." And I'm sure she means castle. It's no kidding, for sure. Okay, let me show you something, Roy. This is the central square where the mayor has an office. Of course, this was Christmas. You have been here, right?
Of course, I've been all over Viterbo. I know it quite well. I've been there 100 times at least,
How do you like this square in the winter time?
Well, I like, first of all, the weather doesn't matter to me. Wherever I am, I'm happy. If it's right now, for instance, the winter's over and now it's starting to get warm. People are starting to complain already. It's 80 degrees. I don't ever complain about the weather. So the weather here is great, by the way, in this area. So,
but what do you think about Christmas?
A lot of beautiful squares in Viterbo, not just one, but many of them.
So I guess what I mean is, what do you feel about the festive atmosphere during the Christmas break? Do you feel like you're in a happy place when you come to Viterbo?
Well, yeah, but usually everybody's happy at Christmas.
That is correct.
We are, but no, it's Viterbo is a very vibrant place. When you're in the old part of the city, there's a lot of people walking around. A lot. It's not like Bonareggio where there's 10 people living there. Viterbo is a very vibrant place. So I have nothing that I've never had a bad experience in Viterbo, believe me.
Let me ask you about this specific thing. We have the rocks called peperino, like the one you can see, and we like to put flowers in front of it. How do you like this contrast of the peperino that is gray and the flowers?
The pecorino, do you mean cheese or wine?
No, the peperino, the rock.
Oh, the rock. Ah, the rock wall you're talking about.
Yes.
Well, Italy, particularly this part is almost every wall is a beautiful rock wall. Beautiful. I mean, you can't say enough about them. What's more beautiful than a rock wall? You never see bricks here. In America you have bricks, but bricks, aren't really that beautiful. But this is very beautiful. And the flowers, there's flowers everywhere. People outside everybody's home, there's flowers, and
Okay, so let's summarize. Viterbo is close to Rome, 1 hour. It's close to Fiumicino, the international airport, 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's a vibrant, happy city, and you do recommend it for America.
Of course, I think it's again, if you're looking for a little larger city, my village has 1,300 people. I like it, but if you're looking for a little big city vibe, Viterbo's got that. But again, I've always had a good experience there. There's many wonderful things to do. You can spend days there and never see everything. So anyway, sorry
I
for
think we cannot say anything better. You can spend days there and never see everything in Viterbo.
Well, you live there. How long have you been living there? Huh? How long have you been living there?
Well, on and off for 60 years, but I spent quite some time in America.
I know. So you were born.
Oh yeah. I'm biased, like the Sindaco, like the mayor. So definitely a place to visit and a place potentially to choose as your home. So Roy, I thank you. I invite everybody to take advantage of my telephone number. I'm happy to show them around. I'm happy to give a sense of what the city can offer. Actually, I had today a visit in a gelateria, a place where they sell gelato. There were a bunch of Americans. They were so happy about the gelato they got. I cannot overestimate how happy they were.
You can't beat the ice cream here in Italy. Believe me.
You can't. You cannot. Okay, Roy, my friend, thank you very much. I'll see you in a month. Last Tuesday of the month, we talk about real estate. Next month is going to be Sutri. Roy, thank you so very, 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 very much.
All right. Nice
Good night,
seeing
man. Good night. Regista, com'è andata oggi?
Bene, benissimo, come sempre. Ci vediamo alla prossima, Giulio.
Dalla Tuscia